Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Thornton Farm. This is episode number 15, and hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful day. We are just wrapping up our wheat harvest off of field number 12. You might remember in the previous episode, we started harvesting wheat on the field just below this field. Can't see the number on there on the mini map, but that's field number 13. And this is just the last of the wheat coming off this field. Now, we did have a bit of a rain delay for about an hour and a half or so. We had a very, very light rain come through the area. Unfortunately, we've lost a little bit of straw, a little bit of the yield from the straw. Now, we have not started baling any of our straw yet. We still have, again, field number 13, which still has our straw swaths on it. We will be doing that in this episode. I just wanted to take the time to go ahead and get the remainder of this wheat off the field here. Then we will empty the combine and we will take the wheat down to the main farm, store it in the silo, and at that particular point in time, I can share with you how much wheat we managed to get off of these two fields. Quite impressive as far as the yield goes. That will make Mr. Thornton quite happy. He certainly does like to get ample quantities of grain off of his fields, I should say. And hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful time. Of course, you are watching this episode on the 29th of December, Friday the 29th. And I have been off all this week. Now, I will admit I have recorded this episode a bit in advance. I'm recording this episode on Monday the 18th of December. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and park our wheat right down here. And then we will jump out really quick and go back and get in the harvester. And then we'll just clean up that last little bit there. Certainly, waste not, want not is our motto here on the farm. It is certainly something that we would never want to do, leave a little bit of wheat there. It's not going to matter. I mean, it's just probably going to be probably a couple of dozen liters would be my guess, will be all that we will get out of this small little amount here. But, you know, it's just, again, waste not, want not, and so if Mr. Thornton was to drive by and see this small amount of wheat out here, he might have a conniption fit, and so we would not want him to do that. So it's going to be a little over about 169 liters, about 1%. So again, not anything huge to write home about, but this could, this could very well help us set a harvest record if we were looking for something like that. And we will go ahead and put that in there just like that. And we are going to go ahead and close up our combine. Now, what we are going to do is certainly we most likely will not get to baling both of these fields. At least I don't think we will. I don't think that we will make that much progress in, say, 20 to 25 minutes or so. But we will go ahead and put the header on the header trailer like so. And we will disconnect, we'll back the harvester up, and I think just for sake of getting this thing out of the way, I think what we will do is we will park the combine right over here, out of the way, set our parking brake, shut the engine off, and back out. And that is where we will leave that for now. And we will go ahead and move our wheat from the tipper down to the main farm, get connected to our baler, and then get back over here and get baling this straw. We do need this straw. Of course, again, like I said, we had that rain shower that came through, and unfortunately, the rain just kind of packed some of the straw into the soil. It didn't rain that hard, but it was hard enough that some of our yield has disappeared. Our baler just will not get that out of the soil after the rain packs it down, and we will lose a percentage of that. Not sure how much, but that's just the way the seasons mod works. So 36,000 liters of wheat that we got. I think I managed to take at least one full load, if not perhaps two, off of the field. I know we have over 100. I think this will put us over 100,000 liters, and probably put us well over 100,000 liters that we've managed to pull off. Let me pull up just a little bit further here and then try this again. It is a little bit of this tipper might be just a little bit too big for here. We kind of have to work it a little bit. Oh, need to go a little further back than that. There we go, to get the tip point, and you kind of have to let it go up a little bit and then lower it because there are collisions on that building there, and the tipper kind of goes crazy and causes the tractor to go all wonky. And yes, that is a technical term. And there we go. So let's just look at our crop yield here for a second. 131,894 liters. So certainly not a bad day, not a bad harvest at all as far as our wheat goes. And I'm just going to pull our tipper right over here out of the way. Might as well use the John Deere to go ahead and harvest, or go ahead and bale that, since the tractor is running and everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and go over to the other farm, and we will get in, hook up to our John Deere baler and get that over here and get started baling some straw. Again, we need straw. We've needed straw for a little while. Our supply of straw has basically diminished over the last couple of weeks anyway, I should say. Alright, and just like that, we've got our baler now. We are going to square bale this just because, well, it's just a little easier to square bale it. It's a little easier to stack it. It's a little easier to keep everything from rolling around and rolling down the hill and all that kind of stuff. So but I've got to, I'll go out of character here for just a moment, and I've been watching a real life YouTube farmer, actually a rancher I should say. We'll go ahead and unfold our baler and turn our baler on. We'll go ahead and lower the pickup, and we're going to get started right here. But I've been watching a real-life rancher on YouTube. He's, I believe his YouTube channel is the Wyoming Rancher, I think, or something like that. If I can remember, I'll post a link in the show notes. But he was an interesting segment that I watched from him, and I don't remember how old the video was, but he did basically talk about some of the dilemmas that he suffers. He obviously raises cattle for that's how he makes his money. So it's not a dairy. It's basically a cattle ranch. So he is breeding cows for calves, which he sells each year. And again, that's how he earns his money. But he was talking about some of the issues that, you know, real life farmers and ranchers and stuff like that has. He does cut grass for hay, obviously, and tries to feed his cows from his own land there. And he was talking about the issues that he has with round bales rolling away. And he's got thousands of acres of land. His ranch is can be measured in miles from one side to the other. It's many miles up in Wyoming, and he says sometimes these bales will roll perhaps maybe like a mile away, and they have to go chasing after them, obviously, whenever it comes time to loading them all up and everything. And so I just kind of had to joke, because obviously that is also some of the problems that we have on our virtual farms, especially playing maps like, for example, Coldboro Park Farm is a good example, where you've got some rolling hills and such. Even Midtown USA, the new map that I have started, the new Let's Play that I have started, there's some fields there that have a little bit of elevation to them, some hills, and if you're not careful, I'm sure bales would certainly get out of your hands, come off the baler and roll just, you know, forever. And so that was quite interesting that, you know, they have to put up with that in the real world as well. And he was even talking about how that, you know, if they leave, he's got a Gator, a John Deere Gator. He's got a couple of all-terrain ATV type vehicles, and you know, occasionally one of these bells will get away, and of course they're baling big bells there on the ranch, and you know, that run the risk of one of these bells crushing an ATV, or certainly a person if one gets in the way of that. So our yield is, our straw coming off the field here, coming into bales, is not very impressive. So unfortunately, I'm not sure how many bales we'll get off of these two fields. I had actually thought that maybe if we had a good yield off of our straw, that we would actually be set up fairly well for being able to sell some of these bales, because again, that is a service that Mr. Thornton provides to the local area. But I'm sort of thinking that it may be a little tight, that we're going to struggle with this particular harvest. Now let's take a look right quick at our other fields here, just to kind of refresh my memory as to what else we have here on the ground. And that was it. Basically our wheat crops were the only two crops that we planted that produce a straw off of them. We did not plant barley this particular year, so it's going to be kind of close. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we will have enough to fulfill our own needs, as well as be able to sell some as well. Of course, we still have some left over from last year. We've got a barn that still has some straw in it, so if anything, we'll basically sell that, or position that to where that we would use that ourselves, and sell a portion of this to those in the area who are going to be looking for straw. We've had a pretty good grass, or hay, I should say hay, and silage crop. We've still got those silage bales down in the other field there, and those will be sold. We don't have a need for any other grass as far as silage is concerned, because we had a good couple of good cuttings that we have taken to our silage silo for fermentation, and that is doing quite well. So we have enough silage to last the rest of the fall, the winter, and spring, until we can start cutting grass again late next spring, early next summer. Hope you all are enjoying your time between Christmas and New Year's. Hope you're all ready for New Year's. It'll be here just around the corner, just a couple of days from now. Obviously, I'm recording this episode a bit in advance. I think I've already shared that I'm recording this on the 18th of December. And my wife and I will be off from work the week between Christmas and New Year. So we have, as I'm recording this episode, it's Monday evening, and we've just got 4 more work days left for 2017, and then we will be off until the 2nd of January. Can't wait. It has been kind of, it's been a hectic last maybe quarter or two, half a year for me, with all the travel and other things that we have done, my wife and I have done. It's been kind of a hectic year, even though we've had some breaks and some nice vacation time and everything, both during the summer when we went to Estes Park, as well as during my birthday when we went back there again. Great times and everything, but still a lot of hectic travel for me, and just working to kind of get, I have to work kind of hard before I take vacation, and work hard after I take vacation. And so sometimes it makes you think, well, is it all worth it? But it is. The pain, as my wife often says, especially when we're like on vacation in Europe and places like that, and we're a bit sore because we do like to get out and walk quite a bit and see things. She often tells me that, the pain from walking or standing or whatever, that'll all subside and that'll all disappear in time. But the memories of the things that we get to see, the memories of the things that we get to do and experience, those last a lifetime. So in other words, the pain is short term. the memories are forever. So that is good philosophy, good words of wisdom from my wife to you, is that if you have the opportunity to go and see things, do that, regardless of, you know, how tired you might be or how sore it might be because you had to walk or stand in line for a while or stand in the heat or whatever. All those things will go away, but the memories will remain. Now, also, because I am recording quite a few episodes in advance, because I am going to be, between Christmas and New Year's, my wife and I are going to be doing quite a few honeydew projects around the house, and I just don't feel that I'm going to have the time to edit and upload videos and all that kind of stuff. Those of you who do produce YouTube content, you all know how much time this takes, and so I'm going to kind of focus on enjoying our week between Christmas and New Year's, getting some things done around the house, etc. So I am working on creating some content, obviously recording this episode on the 18th that's going to air on the 29th. I've got a pretty good backlog here. But in doing this, obviously the things that I am experiencing yesterday, today, tomorrow, etc., you guys aren't going to hear about that until these episodes do air. And I just wanted to say thank you to Doughboy2913. Today, the 18th of December, Doughboy released his episode number 1 of his brand new series that he's kicking off on the Upper Mississippi River Valley map. He introduced us to a new character of his called Cletus. I can't remember what the last name was, but first name was Cletus. And Doughboy is going to sort of dedicate each episode to someone that, you know, has helped him get started with YouTube and has helped him with, or it's someone that he has met through doing YouTube videos, through the various communities that he participates in, etc. And quite to my surprise, he actually dedicated this entire series on Upper Mississippi River Valley to yours truly, to me. Yes, I met Doughboy probably about a year ago. I was doing Stevie's Goldcrest Valley series. You guys might remember that if you've been a part of the channel for a little while. And I'm going to pause briefly and grab us a screenshot here while I'm telling the rest of this story. And so Doughboy contacted me, commented on my videos, all that kind of stuff like folks do, and essentially, so I sort of got to know Doughboy at that particular point in time. And I guess maybe several months later, he contacted me regarding asking me some questions about recording farm sim gameplay and starting up a YouTube channel. And of course, I've answered questions and I've helped him out just because I enjoy that. I enjoy what this sort of allows me to do. I enjoy answering questions about mods or the gameplay or what little bit of real life farming I know about as it pertains to the virtual world, and also of course getting a YouTube channel started. And so so Doughboy has dedicated this entire series to me, and I'm quite flattered, I'm quite humbled, and I'm quite pleased that he did that. I think that was a very nice gesture on his part. Certainly not anything that he needed to do or had to do, but I'm very pleased that he has chosen to do that just the same. So I tell you, that rain has really dampened our spirits here as far as straw production, straw accumulation. You know, again, kind of staying out of character just a little bit. That is because of the Seasons mod. Anytime you either have straw, hay, or grass on the field in this fashion, and it rains, if it gets wet, you're going to lose a percentage of it, and also you lose a percentage of it if it remains on the field beyond midnight. And so of course that is a challenge for us to get this baled and get this picked up off the field before midnight, and of course it's just after 4:30, so shouldn't have a problem in doing getting this task done. And of course I'll be completing the rest of the baling off camera, just because I don't want to subject you to any more of this than necessary. As I've sort of said before, most likely the next game day we'll be harvesting, I think canola was what we were going to do next, and that was on the other fields right across the street from this field. So I think right over there is our canola fields, and they're ready to go. So we will at least do a little bit of harvesting of canola, and then of course this is the only these are the only two fields that we planted with a grain cereal crop that basically leaves a straw on the field. So unfortunately we will just have to do our very best to ration this and make sure that we have enough for ourselves, and also be able to support the community that's going to be counting on us, because they do count on us for that selling of the straw and everything. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Thornton hasn't already got orders for straw, and maybe even has gone so far as to collect at least a deposit on some of it. So we will just have to kind of wait and see what the balance is after we get it all baled and get it picked up and get it down to the barn. Now, I mentioned in the previous episode, episode number 14, that Smithy is feeling a little bit under the weather, and we have brought in, just because we've got a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, we've got the harvesting of the wheat that we've been working on for several hours, and we've also got the baling and everything, and of course we'll be bringing in a front loader and loading up the bales and everything on the trailer and hauling them to the barn. So we have brought in an assistant to help while Smithy recovers. It is full-blown man flu. And man flu is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I don't feel that I need to convince the gentleman of this, because I know you already know that man flu is a real thing. It knocks us out, you know. I mean, it really keeps us from working and everything. And actually, funnily enough, there was a scientific study that I read just a couple of days ago that actually said that the man flu was real, that there are some different, the way a man's brain is versus, I guess, a woman's brain, is there's some kind of sensors or something that is a little bit different in the way that it's all wired. And even though we do tend to think that we suffer greatly for it, that there is some scientific justification for that. And so basically the flu affects men worse than it affects women. But anyway, so Smithy does have full-blown man flu, and he will be out for a couple of days. So there is a individual that works for Lady Felicia. So I introduced you to Lady Felicia a couple of episodes ago, and she has a guy that works for her called Sid, and Sid has been filling in for Smithy while he has been recovering from the man flu. And it's been quite nice having an extra hand here on the farm to fill in, because there's just so much work that for myself and Thomas, we've still got to take care of the animals. We've still got to sell milk. We've still got to collect eggs. We still have to take care of the greenhouses. We're having to harvest the greenhouses because we've got lettuce and tomatoes and stuff like that up there at the greenhouse that we need to pick, and essentially most of that goes down to Mr. Thomas's or Mr. Thornton's farm, or Mr. Thornton's pub is what I'm trying to get out. And because he serves everything, lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers and whatnot there at the pub, makes his salads and everything, and garnishes for his burgers and all that kind of stuff. So that is all coming from the greenhouses. Plus we have a farmers market in the summer that's a weekly farmers market, and as we get into the fall and winter, that farmers market does come down to every 2 weeks in the fall, and then once a month in the winter time. And of course, with our greenhouses being the way that they're built, we can continue to grow all sorts of fruits and veg and everything all year long in the greenhouses and keep the local area in all of that fresh goodness of vegetables. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much going to be about a wrap for this episode. We're coming up on our magic number of 30 minutes, and I don't want to wear you out doing too much of this baling, because it is just kind of the same thing up and down over and over. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. I know that folks like the harvest, so I added a little bit of that to the top of the episode. And of course, we will return with the next episode with more harvesting. We'll be harvesting canola. We've got, let's see what else we have on this map to harvest. We've got our canola fields 8 and 9. We've got soybeans here, and we have sunflowers, and then finally we have corn. Let's just take a look and see what is in. So these are not in yet. The sunflowers and the soybeans and the corn are not in yet, but we do have our canola, which is ready to harvest on 8 and 9. So that is what we will be doing at least in a portion of episode 16, and then we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do as the rest of autumn rolls by. We are playing 9 game days per season on this map, and so we'll have plenty of stuff to do as we roll through the next few episodes. And of course, hopefully Smithy will get to feeling better. He'll recover from his man flu, and we may keep Sid around to help us out as well. Sid also does a lot of work for Father Brown, whom I've introduced you to in previous episodes. And anyway, I'll just take the opportunity to say thank you all so much for watching my episodes. Please like and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and click the subscribe button and make sure you get the notifications and everything on that. And there won't be another episode until Monday. You guys will see episode number 16 of Thornton Farm on Monday. And the reason why I'm giving you an episode on Monday, as I've explained in my Midtown USA series, that there is an old saying about New Year's Day, that the things that you do on New Year's Day, you will often do throughout the year, and you will have great fun in doing that. It'll be something that you will enjoy doing. So in other words, if you don't enjoy washing dishes, make sure you don't wash too many dishes on New Year's Day, because you'll be stuck washing dishes the rest of the year. But certainly I'm planning on playing a little bit of Farm Sim 17, probably the morning of New Year's Day, pending that I don't have too much adult beverage the evening before. And we'll have an episode that will air on New Year's Day. Again, that will be Thornton Farm episode number 16, so most likely it will cover the harvest of the canola field. And so yeah, so hopefully the good wishes and the sort of the old wives' tale, I suppose you could say, if that does ring true, then I will be enjoying my Farm Sim 17 gameplay and producing videos for the channel and everything, and be quite successful at it throughout 2018. Plus also, don't forget the black eyed peas. Make sure you eat your black eyed peas on New Year's Day, because that does, for the more peas you eat on New Year's Day, the more financial prosperity and good luck and good fortune and everything that you will have throughout the year. So anyway, without further ado, folks, my name is Jerry Grizzly Bear Sims. I wish to thank you all so much for watching. The next time I will talk to you, it will be 2018. So enjoy yourselves. Take care of yourself, and please take care of others. Hope you enjoyed my Christmas message, by the way, and I will see you all next year. Take care. And from Thornton Farm, myself, Smithy, Sid, Father Brown, Lady Felicia, Thomas, Mr. Thornton, we all say Happy New Year to you all. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.